plow, harrow, dig, haul, and scoop?
Can do.
All available blue shirts, all available blue shirts. To the starting line, all available blue shirts to the starting line. All available crews, all available drivers, families. Anybody wants to help the American flag and carry that, please report immediately to the starting line. Thank you.
Remaining an independent, family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Vex, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit vexhybrids.com.
Wherever the road leads, Mac Trailer has what it takes to get you going. We bring you closer to your trailer and the support you need with more than 1.8 million square feet of manufacturing space across the nation. No matter where you go, you can easily connect with our trusted dealer network of more than 135 authorized dealers in the U.S. and Canada. Simply put, Mac Trailer is here for you. We built our legacy. Now let's build yours.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
You've got questions? We've got answers. Need a pro you can trust? We have stores of that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maxton Tire, we get the job done.
On back roads and drag strips, farm fields and the interstate, there's a movement growing. A movement of hardworking men and women that trust Hot Shot's secret to take care of their vehicles. It's the fastest growing diesel additive brand, but you don't have to take our word for it. Take theirs. Lab formulated, dyno tested, track proven. Hot Shot's secret, powered by science.
Did your motorsports program get turned upside down by an accident? AP1 Insurance can get you back on track. We cover every type of motorsports vehicle, from circle track racing, tractor pulling, and drag racing, to the toters and trailers that get you there. We also offer rain event coverage and price packages. AP1 Insurance is your one-stop shop for all your specialty insurance needs. Contact us today.
Hey, I'm Greg Randall, Executive Director of NCPA, and I'm with Cindy Kuiper. She's with Timber Axle, Dr. Preload. They are the sponsor of our Super Semi Division at the Grand National Point level. Tell us a little bit about what you do there at Timber Axle.
At Timber Axle, we make the Dr. Preload bearing adjustment tool. And we also make the Temper Lock spindle nut. So you can use our nut to adjust your wheel ends to get it to perfect preload and end-to-end play. And by doing that, you can increase your seal life, your bearing life, your tire wear gets better, and your fuel mileage gets better as well.
Go to their website, find out about these fine folks, and buy some products.
Welcome to the future of agriculture. New Fields Ag.
Newfields Ag is focused on sourcing, testing, and marketing the newest biological and biotech products for you to use in your operation. With nutrient management and use efficiency, manure management, and yield enhancement products, we offer crop performance products that are safer and that make yield. NewfieldsAg.com. Farm the future. Farm with Newfields Ag.
When the power hits the track, GMS is behind it. Family owned, built Butler County, Ohio, trusted worldwide. GMS delivers the good stuff. Oil primer pumps, diamond forgings, darkened sleeves, precision bearings, and piston rings. From rods to complete front drive assemblies, we've got it covered. Led by Brett Payne and backed by a skilled crew, GMS is more than a machine shop. We're your pulling partner. GMS, solid parts, reliable service, built for the long haul.
The NTPA and Steiner Tractor Parts, the new partnership where passion meets power. Steiner Tractor Parts is proud to be part of this year's NTPA. From our family-owned location in Lennon, Michigan, we have over 85,000 square feet of vintage and classic tractor parts, all featured in our world-famous parts catalog. And our president, Dan Steiner, adds, "Old iron is our passion. We're proud to support those who share our love for horsepower and heritage by partnering with the NTPA. So here's to the best season ever for the NTPA from all of us here at Steiner Tractor Parts, new parts for old tractors, and the proud sponsor of the NTPA.
Hey NTPA Pulling fans, Greg Randall, Executive Director. I'm here with a special guest, Jeff Miller, Mitas Tires.
Besides the pulling tires, we make a full line of ag tires, and our sole purpose is really to take everything we learn off the track and really apply it to your farming operation. You want to build some tires that are dependable, a quality product, and have the performance levels where you don't have to worry about it.
Well, where can they find out more about Mitas?
Well, you can, of course, Google us on the web. Probably one of your best sources is to reach out to your local tire dealer.
Mitas getting traction with the NTPA in 2024. Jeff, we appreciate it. Looking forward to a lot of great things.
Thank you very much.
Pulling fans, it is time. We have finally reached the pinnacle of our event. It is session number 5 of the 58th Annual National Tractor Pulling Championships, presented by Maxim Tire. Bowling Green, how we doing? 6 classes here tonight to pull for the coveted Bowling Green ring. That is why we are here. Not only that, but for Grand National points and to be considered the best in the land when it comes to truck and tractor pulling. You guys have been kept up to speed all weekend long on where these competitors stand, and it's thanks to the great team of announcers that they assemble for you here at the National Tractor Pulling Championships. So ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you your announcing team, Mr. Miles Krieger, Dan Mayer, Darren Hartwell, and Doc Riley. My name's Greg Whitaker. What a pleasure it's been to be here this year during this wonderful weather that we have had. But right now, I just want to get some opinions. Miles, what do you think so far of the weekend?
You know, we continue to build excitement. That's what we always do through the week, and it's been that way today, yesterday, and Thursday night. Fantastic competition. The stars of the sport are here. We know that, and my guess is that back in the pit area right now, we're turning some wicks up. It's Saturday night in Bowling Green.
We definitely are. Darren Hartwell, you've had the experience to be down here, do some of the interviews. You're also up there with Doc. You've got all the stats in front of you. What a great weekend we've had. What'd you think?
Oh, yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, and it builds to this pinnacle of Saturday night in Bowling Green, the biggest pull in the world, the biggest night. There's nothing better than Saturday night in Pull Town, USA.
That's definitely true. And Dan Mayer, you've had the opportunity to be the popular guy when it comes to the FullPull.live. Everybody gets to watch you. You've had a great experience this year, but you turned your duties over this weekend and put your mind to the microphone for us here at the National Tractor Pulling Championships. What's your thoughts?
Well, Greg, it's always great to be back here in Pull Town. And like Darren said, like Miles said, it's Saturday night. Everybody goes for broke here in Pull Town. The fans are ready. The pullers are ready. We're ready. It's going to be an awesome show.
It certainly is. And Doc Riley, Doc, you've been at many events over the years, from car shows to Cramorama and Jamma and monster trucks and everything else. But you've always stuck true to the NTPA roots and to the truck and tractor pulling industry. What are your thoughts, my friend?
I would say that the thing that draws everybody here is the competition on the track. Some people will follow those points. You know, back when you used to get the Puller magazine, that's when you kept up with the points. But now, when you have people that are here, right here in this brand new K&K Winner's Circle, and they've won rings before here in Bowling Green, and then suddenly they win another one and they can't talk, because the passion comes through. Not always the most verbose speech, but a guy that just says, you know, overcome. That's going to happen tonight. We're going to crown our ring winners tonight. It's going to be outstanding. The competition continues here at the biggest badass event in the world of truck and tractor pulling.
That is definitely true. Now, ladies and gentlemen, also tonight is Agricultural Appreciation Night. Now, you all know that this is a truck and tractor pulling event. Well, how did it start? Well, don't think that it started with a guy in a suit and said, I have an idea back in 1967 and 65, and even prior to that, then I'm going to build a tractor and take it down a track and be able to put on an event like this. It did not. It started with a group of guys that had chewing tobacco in their mouth, probably, a hat, wearing suspenders, and said, hey, I want to see if my tractor can pull farther than yours. And that's what we're talking about tonight, which is farmers. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, put your hands together. These guys are going to go to work for you in a little bit for your announcers team as we kick off our Agricultural Appreciation Night. Blue shirts, present and walk. Tonight is about recognizing and celebrating the contribution of agriculture in our daily lives. Today, many Americans don't understand how food and fiber products are produced. They don't value the essential role of agriculture in maintaining a strong economy and appreciate the role agriculture plays in providing safe, abundant, and affordable products. Agriculture intersects the almost every square of our existence. What we eat, what we wear, and the products that we use. But in the era of mass production and ever-growing urban centers, awareness of the agricultural workforce, the farmers, growers, ranchers, buyers, and suppliers, the impact is fading. We need to change that, raising awareness and encouraging active participation in the industry and support of existing agricultural industry and all of the workforce that is involved. When you think of agricultural careers, what jobs do you think of? Chances are your answers might be a farmer, rancher, veterinarian, or agronomist. The kind of jobs that work directly with animals or land. These are definitely jobs that are a key part of agriculture today, but there are a lot more jobs in ag than you might think. According to the 2025 Feeding the Economy report, it's 47 million people in the United States work in the agricultural and food industries. That's 29% of the USA population. This number might be surprising depending on where you live. For some, that probably seems reasonable. But if you're in a rural area and are surrounded by ag, but if you don't see agriculture on a daily basis, that number might be a bit shocking. One interesting thing about agriculture is that there are so many jobs that play a role in producing food and getting it to the consumer that aren't always considered ag careers. Think of how many people work as accountants, run social media, work in labs as research, operate manufacturing and repair equipment, and do tons of other incredibly important things who might not ever step foot on a farm. You don't need to work on a farm to be a part of agriculture. Take a good look at the men and women in the blue shirts that are here on the track. They all come from different backgrounds, but have the same goal in mind: to produce the biggest truck and tractor pulling event in the world that was started by farmers and people who worked in agricultural fields. This is why tonight we recognize the men and women who are here or watching from home and across America to know that we appreciate and salute the agricultural workers who feed and keep America strong. Let's hear it for American agriculture, and thank you, farmers and the entire ag industry. And a big thanks to our blue shirts. Dave, you only get 5 years to be a president, but you've been a dang good one along with the ones in the past. I can say that at the bottom of my heart because it's truly a pleasure to work for a great organization that you lead with your other directors and everybody in this line. So thank you for doing what you guys do.
Thanks, Craig. This is 200 plus of the very hardest working men and women in tractor pull. And some you'll see in this line, that's the hardest thing for me to do in everything I do in a year, is to say there's this year 2 people that have not been able to make it with us this year. We had 2 members pass away this year. You'll see 2 holes in this line. One is for Dave Prentice, and the other one is for Bob Chamberlain. Blue shirts know that they're looking down on us. And we need to show them that we've got it from here, and we're going to do the best we can. Thanks, Greg.
Hard to believe that after 23 years that I've been on the microphone and know all of you wonderful people, that it comes to heart when one of yours passes away. It hits us too. And a couple of them lately has been certainly affected. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to go ahead and turn over the microphone to our chaplain. From the Pullers of Christ, ladies and gentlemen, a man that's been here as long as I have and has spoke on the microphone very rarely, but each session for the past 25 years has led us in guidance from his heart that reaches from the Lord to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, our chaplain, Tony Kelly.
Allow me to pray. Father God, you have blessed me with the passion for the agriculture industry. You've allowed me to spend my life involved. I know the love and I know the hatred that goes along with the industry. And Father, we thank you for it. We thank you for the strength that the agriculture industry has brought to this nation. And Father, I ask that you would bless us, that we as a people continue to depend on that strength so our nation can continue to be the best country in the world to be in. Father, we thank you for these blue shirts and all the contributions and sacrifices they make to make this event for our pleasure possible. I ask that you would reward them and return the favors to them. Father, all those that have funded this event and all those that work behind the scenes and labor to clean up afterwards, and to make it possible and presentable beforehand. I ask that you would reward them. Father, we thank you for the safety that you've blessed us with throughout these sessions this weekend. And I ask that you would continue to bless us with this safety. And as we travel home into our appointed places this evening, tomorrow, and in the coming weeks, I ask that you would give us safety and trouble-free travels. Thank you for all that you do for us. Allow us to give praise and honor to you for those blessings and contributions in our lives. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
For those of you that have been here for many of years, or for those of you that it's your first time, this is the playing of a man who spoke on the microphone here for many and many years, and we always honor him by playing what we call the Ragged Old Flag. Mr. Keith Bradley.
I walked through a county courthouse square. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, "Your old courthouse is kind of run down." He said, "No, it will do for our little town." I said, "Your old flagpole is leaning a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you've got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." And I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" he asked. I said, "I think it is." "Well," he said, "I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, it got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And it got powder burns the night Francis Scott Key sat watching it, writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' But it waved on through, and it got a bad rip in New Orleans when Packenham and Jackson took it on the scene, and it almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on through. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. The south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II, and she hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea and Vietnam. She waved from our ships upon the briny foam. Now they've about quit waving her here back home. In our good land here, she's been abused, she's been burned, for denied, refused, and the government for which it stands is scandalized throughout the land. She's getting threadbare and she's wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, I believe we can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, and we take her down every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up right. On second thought, I do like to brag because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting tonight's colors is the Post 183 American Legion from Pemberville, Ohio. And here to sing our Canadian and national anthems, Miss Abby Hunter Pespan.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy son's commands. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. from far and wide. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
This is Town! Ladies and gentlemen, the 180th Fighter Wing and their four captains and lieutenant colonels, will meet them a little bit later. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring her to the winner's circle right now. Abby, do you have a second? Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Abby Van Hunter, 17 years that she has been singing the national and Canadian anthems here. Ever since she was 14 years old, it's been a pleasure. You really did hold that one out and extended it like an R&B singer there, baby.
Yeah, I had to. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
She knew it. That's why she helps us with it. One more time, Abby Van Hunter. And one more time for our blue shirts and agriculture. So as we clear the track, we do have some pretty cool things that'll be happening before we hit the track with the first truck and tractor. We do have the Bad Gear Spin the Wheel. Now, for those of you that have never come or have been here before, we again do welcome you. But $10,000 is on the line tonight for the Bad Gear Wheel Spin. Now, what that is that we have a digital wheel that will spin on the video boards, and that will determine which class out of the 6 classes here tonight will be eligible for $10,000. The winner of that class is who receives the $10,000. Now, I know Miles and Dan have always done this out here, and they're already with our representatives. So if they're ready to go, we're going to see which class tonight gets that opportunity. Miles, Dan?
All right, so we're down here trackside. Marty from Bad Gear. Marty, tell us what's going on. Got all kinds of great things going on here.
Oh, we have a ton of great things going on. We've got tons of new pulling shirts. We've got a booth over on the north side, just behind the big case there. And we've got one on the south side, just past the building here on the end. They're both going to be open all night long. I want to thank the blue shirts for letting us be a part of this event. It's an honor to be a part of the event. And I'll tell you something you don't know about those guys. They don't get the fairgrounds until 7 p.m. last Friday. So they put this together in 2.5 days. Absolutely, positively unbelievable to support the greatest event in motorsports, in my opinion, and certainly the greatest fans. You guys have braved the weather today to be out here, and you all deserve credit to be out here supporting Tractor Pulling for sure. So give yourselves a round of applause. And we really appreciate you guys, and we really appreciate the pullers. We want to support them as well. They support us. They let us make their shirts. They give us a lot of access, and they're really super good to us. So we try to be super good to them. You guys have a great day and drive diesel.
Well, we certainly thank you, Marty, and very, very much for your support. And obviously, we've got your logo hanging above the big screen here now at the big end of the track, which has been a great addition for us here in 2025 as well. So we certainly appreciate all you're doing to give back and help us out here in this sport for sure. So thank you, folks. With Bad Gear, of course, here, and this is year number 4, I believe, right, for us to give one lucky class a $10,000 opportunity, and that sort of has set the standard for where we go now. $10,000 in pulling and competition has become a really, really big deal. There's no question about it.
Miles, let's talk about that. We've seen the mini rods have been picked here. We saw the super stock diesel trucks. Over the years?
Yeah, a couple of mini rods, twice for minis, once for super stock diesel pickups. This will be year number 4. And obviously, each of these 6 classes sitting back in the wings, their fingers are crossed that their class is the one that lands as the lucky duck tonight for $10,000. What an added bonus that you get to run for. You're coming anyway. You're in the points race, all these aspects of it. And then in addition, that little extra $10,000 kicker to the winner. That's a pretty awesome deal.
And now think about it. You're sitting back there. You're strapped in, you got your helmet on, and all of a sudden, boom, your class comes up, and right there, you're running for 10 grand. That has got to be something. And of course, we thank the folks from Bad Gear for doing that here for the 4th consecutive year. And we're just waiting here on the video board as they tell us it should be up here in just a minute. Or we might go to plan B.
Yeah, so just a second, we're going to be ready to go. Even with the best laid plans, there are sometimes a little bit of a technical difficulty. They occur in all aspects when you think about it, and we can see that screen now coming back up as we had just a slight little failure. And even though we plan to be perfect, we just aren't sometimes, and that's part of it.
My question is, how are we going to have Tina spin the wheel here? Are you just going to make circles, or how are we going to get that wheel spinning?
All right, so
here we go.
There it is now. We've got the digital wheel up there, and we're going to let the folks from Bad Gear give us the cue to make that thing spin.
Here she goes. All right, she made it start spinning. My eyes aren't that good.
For those of us that have a little bit of a visual issue here, we're going to look here and see what it says. But I think that might say semis. Is that what that said? It was semis?
Right, yeah.
How about that? $10,000 to the winner of our semi class here this evening. And thanks so much to our friends from Bad Gear.
Mixing it up.
Please give them a nice round of applause, fans.
One more time for Tina and Marty Anderson here this afternoon. The 4th year in a row, sponsoring that Spin the Wheel and Super Semis running for 10 grand here in Pulltown.
They haven't made Oakleys with my trifocal lenses just yet. I had to walk away.
Dan Miles, thank you very much. And to Bad Gear. Guys, let's know who's coming up next. Here we go to the Crow's Nest, Darren and Doc.
On the north side, Brady Ingram and the Shy Diesel Ride, kicking off a big class, the largest one we've ever had here at BG. 34 come to the line. We would have had a full complement, but a couple have scratched here. So this is for all the marbles, and this will be a good one coming out. On the north side, following that, we will have our pro stocks. Test puller out there. Brady Ingram getting ready to go to work.
Over here on the south track, we're going to go Super Stock Diesel Tractors. Coming up first out of Varysburg, New York, Hans Boxler Jr. and the Special.
All right, where's our diesel truck fans tonight? Come on, diesel truck fans. All right, great class here tonight. They're ready to go on the north side.
Plenty to talk about.
We are underway. Brady Ingram kicking things off on the north side in their Super Stock Diesel 4x4 class.
So the Special, of course, Mr. Hans Boxler, and a lot of history in this game, comes to the starting line. And I had multiple people tell me during the break here that my north side wasn't loud enough and they weren't with me today. So we're going to work with my north side here after a while.
Hans Boxler Jr., Varysburg, New York, the Special, finished 11th yesterday afternoon.
And we're down here on the Diesel Superstock truck side, the Young Guns. We just saw Brady Ingram go, Aiden Hodges coming. Tripp Paisley, you're in street clothes. What took you out of being in this session tonight?
Yesterday, we had some breakage. We stuck an intake valve at the very end of the pass, which is unfortunate, but we have a lot of customers here with our motors in it. Couple in the chase for the ring, so, I mean, what better way to spend Saturday night than cheer them on, be a crew chief for one of their teams, and what I want to see a Hazley machine motor in the winner's circle tonight. That'd be pretty good.
There you go, third generation driver, Tripp Paisley. Back to you guys.
job here in the evening. Roger Peterson just on number 1.
2018 Dodge Ram 2500 coming up here. The boy out of Avila, Pennsylvania. 6 years of pulling. And he evidently is the youngest to go down the track here at PG. You got to like that, what a thrill it is. When you're a young person, you come to the place that everyone's talked about in your family for years because they've been here. And you get the opportunity to strap in, put the neck collar on, flip the face shield down, get ready. Remember what Pa told you, don't get too excited, and away you go. Got any Dodge fans here in Pole Town? All right.
All right, here we go. Super stock diesel trucks, 7,500 pounds, 460 cubic inches, and over 4,000 horsepower nowadays.
On borrowed time, laying down a nice solid hook.
We're going to go back over here on the south side. Where's our John Deere fans? Come on, green! Yeah, that's the run we're looking for here tonight. Great run, Roger Peterson. Just west of that Minneapolis area up there in Minnesota. Just another one, new sheet metal on this tractor for 2025. Went with the John Deere 6030 metal this year.
Yeah, going to be our first official distance on the south track this evening. What a great pass by Roger Peterson.
On borrowed time sets the new mark in the class, 295 and 9. The nut job coming up. Brian Withrow and a 97 Dodge. Hey, our thanks from the National Tractor Pulling Association to the good folks at Wix Filters. Anything from the ag to the pulling track. They've got a filter, cabin filters, air filters. They've been at this for an awful long time. If you want to keep your engine revving, you got to protect it with Wilkes heavy-duty filters that can handle what you dish out. WixFilters.com for more info. Thanks for your support of the National Tractor Pulling Championships, and welcome to BG.
Distance for Roger Peterson, 3:40 and 4. How about that, green fans? That's a big number to put on the board early on Saturday night in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Well, I can tell you the south side, they're revved up, they're ready to go here tonight. South side, you guys ready to go here tonight? Now, Miles, I don't want you to give me none of those excuses about, they have till 9 o'clock to get over there on the north side and all that. Blah, blah. We've heard that before.
Yeah, those are just unwritten rules that Harold Walliser put in place years ago, But for what we've got now, I'll take my north side. How about your north side? Are you with me? We're good.
All right, they're waking up. They're waking up. South side, you're not going to let them. Come on, let's hear it. 1, 2, 3. South side. Whoa, we got a train horn. We mean business.
My north siders, help me out. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, when the cab starts to fill with smoke, sometimes you might think that's an issue. Just saying, sometime.
Over here on the south side out of Lynn, Indiana, lock and load. Steve Burge doing the driving, a partnership with Butch and John. Three guys, high school friends, partners on this tractor out of Lynn, Indiana.
Yeah, how about it? Lock and load. Missed the first event of the season up in Hutchinson, Minnesota, but these guys, they've been scratching and clawing, getting their way back here, and I got that combination heading in the right direction for sure.
Now, I just want to make sure everybody's aware. I just updated the computer over here, and through 4 sessions, there's 6 red marks on that pole and 1 green mark. Any Red fans here with me tonight?
All right, down here to the starting line, I've got Kyle Holland here with the Black Tornado Revive with the AGCO machine. New tractor for this season. You got to be pleased with the way the tractor's run so far this year.
Yes, we're very pleased. Kent and Sandy have been helping us on everything. It's his engine in there. We're making little jumps every run we get. We're getting a little better.
Well, you set yourself in an excellent position here this year and this weekend for a good points finish on the year end. So again, you ought to be real pleased.
Yes, we're very happy. Couldn't be happier. Running against names that I've watched for Pull all these years and being in the mix with them is just amazing.
Well, good luck to you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I misspoke, Dano. That's right. There's 2 John Deere marks. We won Light Super. Light Super Stock as well. So Light Super Stock with letter buck. They got a green mark this afternoon. Last night we got a green Pro Stock mark. And then, of course, we had a red Super Farm winner and a red Super Open winner today.
John Deere fans are keeping track, Miles. They're keeping track.
The one that wanted me to point it out is not even a John Deere fan. He's a red guy.
Well, Brian Withrow is going to drop back into the class, so that'll bring up Cliff Carnes, like a Shockton, Ohio, in the Carnage 2001 Dodge Ram.
All right, so going to back in John Bell fans. Kind of a dual residence out of eastern New York. Also has a house down there in Alabama as well. Usually we see 2 of the Bell fans tractors out in competition. They had to scratch one here this afternoon. But very strong running machine. We saw him pick up his first ever Grand National win a couple years ago right here in Pulltown. Tractor definitely capable of getting the job done. Of course, going after that John Deere here this afternoon on the south side.
They won here back in 2023 on Saturday night with the chain reaction tractor.
All right, mark to beat 340.4. Here we go. John Bell fans and the chain reaction.
And Carnage lays down a nice pass. Oh! Hugging that left chalk line over there. Again, the vehicle has to stay in between the chalk lines. You touch the chalk line with the tire, you're done. The sled, however, can go out of bounds. And you'll see a lot of times guys hitting that brake quick because sometimes the old sidelines come up a little bit faster than you think.
John Bell fans pulls into second place with the chain reaction at 3:13.2. Roger Peterson, the John Deere, sitting up top, 3:40.4. It's going to bring up Stan Blagrave, Ackerley, Texas, the Red Horse.
Hey, we got a little leader on the far track on the north side, the Carnage, 3:11.6. Big hook by Cliff.
Yeah, the Blagraves have not been out much here in the U.S. They shipped their tractor early this year over to the Netherlands and pulled at Mata Power Weekend over there. And I talked to them earlier this weekend, and they talked about what a blast they had and what a great experience it was. So they've only been out. Their first hook was yesterday here in Bowling Green, finished in 8th place. 3-time Grand National champions out of Texas with the beautiful Case IH, the Red Horse.
And if we want to talk about tonight on Ag Appreciation Night, The Ackerley, Texas area is big in cotton, and the Blagraves are huge cotton. And I remember back when we had the drought, not so many years ago, and every time I would see them, I'd say, how are you doing down there? And they'd say, you can reach, one time Stan told me he could reach his arm into the crevice in the earth into his cotton field, and it would come right up to his armpit. Now you think about American agriculture and being easy, you just plant some stuff. These guys have been through it. Outstanding people, just a great family, but they really are kind of the backbone of what we do in the world of truck and tractor pulling. Ryan Funk, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, where they like to drink beer, the Funkin' Movin'.
Dustin Beeler, you got the job done the other night. You have a chance to collect a ring here at Bowling Green. What are your thoughts right now as you're looking at this track?
Well, there's a lot of good trucks out there. We're early in the class. Sun's going to go down. Track has a chance of getting better. It's going to be difficult. There's a lot of good trucks out here.
I understand. I don't necessarily envy you having to sweat it out.
I don't like it either.
Good luck tonight. Thank you, Dustin.
And I know we have some friends from the UK here too, all decked out in yellow to match us. Dan, Miles, Greg, Doc. Frank, I see you over there on the north side.
Ryan Funk will win at Tomah, Wisconsin this year. Right in the thick of things points-wise. Here comes the Funkin' Movin'.
A red horse making a bid. Looks like Stan Blagrave is going to pull into second place probably. We'll wait on an official distance, but that 340 that Roger Peterson laid down is looking better with every hook.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course the Blagraves, all-time winners here in Poletown in the Superstock Diesel class. 9 victories for this team out of Ackerley, Texas over the years, and looks like not going to be 10 here tonight, unfortunately, for the team.
Yeah, it's good to see them back in the U.S. and back out on the tour making some great passes. Always good to see the Blagraves out of Ackerley, Texas. Their distance here tonight, 320.6. 320.6.
Funkin' Movin', 298.85. 298.85 for Ryan Funk. We will see Corey Funk coming out in the Funkin' Groovin'. He'll be hook number 16. Dylan Kuzulek up next, River Falls, Wisconsin, the Cummins Killer 2.
Up next on the south track on the Case IH sled, it's going to be Kyle Holland out of St. Paul, Indiana with the Black Tornado Revive. Now this team, new tractor for this year, first year out on the full NTPA Case IH Grand National Tour, and they've been building and building and building. You know, it just seems like they've been getting better every weekend and starting to figure things out. A third last weekend in Napoleon, a fifth here in Bowling Green. So good to see this new AGCO out and doing very, very well. A couple of fourth place finishes at the Lions Super Bowl the South in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. A third place at the North Iowa Nationals in Rockwell, Iowa. So really starting to put this tractor together, figure things out, gather some notes, and make some great passes with it.
Yeah, Kyle comes in here number 4 in Grand National points here this weekend. Moved on up from the light pro class, ran that for quite a few years, and then they decided to build this brand new tractor, and what a beauty it is. We got any Orange fans out there tonight? Where's our Orange fans? All right, good runner.
You think about how quickly they jumped in. Not only did they step up from the light class into this super stock class, but they also have a pro stock that Matt is driving, the Glutton for Punishment entry. So they went from, kind of running on a regional circuit to 2 full-blown Grand National classes.
All right, so mark to beat 340.4 over here on the south side. Roger Peterson with that John Deere leading the way.
John Deere. Wow.
And a good run on the north side as we see the Cummins Killer 2 making its way back out on the circuit. Of course, Craig Dickey, a Grand National champion with Cummins Killer 3. But Miles, we've seen that one in the shop here for quite a couple years.
Over here on the south side, Kyle Holland, 346.795, a new leader on the Superstock Diesel side. How about that, Orange fans?
The Cummins Killer 3, 302 and 8, 302 and 8. Unofficially right now at second spot. If you're looking to be the best, purchase the best. Fair Valley Performance has diesel products to get you into the winner's circle. Polling products, source for every diesel competition class from coast to coast. For more air, more fuel, more power, you can find it at Fair Valley Performance. Look them up online at vfpdiesel.com.
Bring up Mark Bradish, Russdale, PA, M80 International 1066. Finished fourth here yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, of course, the Bradish family, longtime runners in the state of Pennsylvania. Used to run that recycled red tractor for many, many years. Kind of got away from it a little bit, came back with this M80. And as you said, they're in real good run as they are in ring contention here this weekend. Got a top 5 yesterday. Of course, everybody, that's what they want. That's what they're running for, that ring they give away here in Poletown.
And certainly we come here now, you think about what we've got going on. As I talked to Aaron last night, Mark didn't make it here to the winner's circle, but Aaron said, you know, they've been working to try to get this tractor in line. It certainly proved itself last night again, and the AGCO out of the state of Indiana just went to the number 1 position. So I'm guessing we might potentially have a pull-off. It's existing there, or a possibility for that to happen in this super stock class as he comes to the line.
Where's the Red fans?
Saturday night, right here in Poletown. Mark Bradish and M80. Let him hear ya. FullPull.
Miles, did you just call a pull-off and then we get one out the gate?
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to show off too much with that regard, but you know what? They're there. There's a lot of really tough runners in this group, and they just keep proving it. That 364.220, and it was like right on time for that thing to come right on out of here. Had a little hunch. How about it?
Good call once again, Miles. Good call.
That's right. I got to help all my friends out behind me here, and that was our first one out the big end down here on our Newfields Ag Super Stock Diesel Tractor class. North side, you're awfully quiet. I need to hear something from you here. Let's go. I don't know. I've never seen such a quiet, well-behaved group of Northsiders in all my 30-some-odd years of coming here.
Yes, they're on their best behavior here tonight. And,
I don't know if the Blue Shirts gave them a conversation about how they had to be really well-behaved or what, but it's Saturday night in Bowling Green. Let's go!
Well, guys, I was talking with Marvin Epperson, and he thought that things were going to be okay down here, but there's some action now on the North Track right around the sled. So we could have a slight change here. They're going to lighten the sled. Just got the word, but the south track is good. Official on the south track and a new test puller on the north track.
All right, fans, so going to be Xander Lee out of Houston, Texas here in the Kong truck. Now, Xander just started his senior year in high school. Now, this young man has run 3.0 diesel trucks. He's actually won the big event down Diesels and Dark Corners, the big diesel truck event down in Georgia. Last year he got that done, so this year they have moved on up here to the super stock class. Him and his dad will run here tonight, his dad Cody. And they're building a third truck as well, so they have gone head first into this super stock class. Here comes Kong.
Scott Feldkamp over here on the south track. Saline, Michigan, the trophy buck.
All right, so Kong, our new test puller over on the north side as they lighten things up. Of course, we want to get these trucks about 320, 330, maybe a full pull, give you fans the best possible show.
.42.55 trophy buck. And one of our tractors typically runs, on the regional circuit. Has the opportunity, of course, to come run right here. The National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green.
Yeah, just about an hour north of here, Saline, outside of a town that we won't name. So, just about an hour north up on US 23. So they have their fair coming up here in a couple of weeks. A nice Wolverine Pullers event there in Saline. 261-1 for Scott Feldkamp. 261-1.
All right, the Kong truck over there was your test puller on the reset of the class. It's 319-4, but he'll drop. So on your score sheets, if you're scoring at home.
All right, down here in the staging lanes, I've got Travis Schlaubaugh with me, and with the Bone Twister. Travis drawing here at the bottom of the field. We've got one out the gate so far. It looks like the track's really good shape here tonight.
Yeah, it does. That orange tractor's been tough all years. Congratulations to Holland. But I got that Super Rooster right behind me. I'll tell you what, he's been on fire the last 2-3 events. So we're just going to try to poke it out the end. If we get out to 350, we'll come back, pull her off.
Well, good luck to you tonight. Hope you do well.
Thank you, and thanks to Bowling Green.
Ice cream sandwiches with homemade baked chocolate chip cookies. And we had a couple of those this afternoon, so we thank the ice cream man for that.
Yeah, he takes great care of us, there's no question, and he's got a freezer right there in the trailer packed with his homemade chocolate chip ice cream sandwiches. And like I said, he doesn't forget about us announcers when we're out here working. We usually always get a sweet treat. Appreciate it very much as he comes to the starting line. Now, that truck known as the Crosswired, which will be out later in this class, is usually the one that we all became aware of with Keith Witt as he ran on the regional circuit many times there in that 3.6 diesel class. And then he has since jumped up and done so very, very well when he purchased this truck right here. And we'll watch and see as he draws that first official hook in our Superstock Diesel 4x4 class right now. Mr. Keith Witt.
Up next on the south track, Mike Schultz, Springville, Iowa, with the Remedy.
The American Pride. Laying it down there, Keith Witt.
Mike Schultz, best finish, second place a couple of weeks ago, the North Iowa Nationals in his home state of Rockwell, Iowa.
Oh, don't worry, international fans. He's got another shot here. Didn't get past that 100-foot mark. Each competitor gets 2 shots at it. If you don't get past that 100-foot mark. So we'll pull the remedy back to the start line. Mike Schultz will get his second attempt. Yeah, good to see the remedy on the Grand National circuit here. We also, Doug Meisinger as well with the Scrappy. Unfortunately, that Minneapolis Moline not able to be here this weekend, but had a few of the tractors coming from the other side of the river, joining the NTPA circuit this year. And good to see them mix it up here with the regulars.
Second attempt for Mike Schultz. Good run for the remedy, Case IH. That does not sound good, right? There we go. I was going to say, it seemed to still be turning a lot of RPMs for being at supposedly idle.
Now, guys, you know that I'm here for the important information that you guys can take home with you. So the remedy, they have a motto, and it's painted on the back of the tractor. Now, you see this on a lot of trucks and tractors. They've got mottos on there. For the remedy, the first motto is, "The hell with the red wine, pass on the moonshine." That's their first motto. Now, their second motto is, "I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for the good time."
All right, good run for the remedy. Superstock diesel tractor class, Mark Bradish, M80 is out the gate at 364. Kyle Holland in second. Black Tornado revived at 346. Roger Peterson, the John Deere, just another one at 340 and 4. And Mike Schultz just pulled into fourth place at 324. Stan Blagrave sitting in fifth with the Red Horse at 320 and 6.
Ken Crowder out of Attica, Indiana. This is the second Scheid diesel entry.
Yeah, good run right there. 3-time winner here in Poletown to Ken Crowder, as he's going to stretch out that lead distance marker just a little bit further. And I think, Miles, that track's starting to work its way in over on the north side.
I think they're figuring things out. There's no question. And Keith kind of had to drive through a little bit of a bounce there about the 150-foot mark. Kent seemed to be ahead of it just a little bit and never really had to throttle too much after he called on it. So we'll see what happens as we keep working our way through this class on the north side. Over here on the south side, we get ready to bring our next super stock diesel tractor in here. This is the Newfields Ag super stock diesel tractor class.
So we had our tribute to American agriculture here this afternoon before we got started. Brandon Hunt, our competitor on the track right now, newly elected to the National Corn Growers Association Board of Directors. So huge advocate for agriculture, and happy to have Brandon a part of that organization. Happy to have him part of our organization here. Just a great puller, living a dream. The Case IH, couple of wins at the Lions Super Bowl of the South in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, and a third here yesterday afternoon. Looking to join that pull-off, going to take a huge run of 350 plus feet.
And Darren, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he the first one from the state of Kentucky to get on that board?
Yes, sir, he is. You know, it's cool, Dan, because you always read about those people in magazines and everything, and to actually know somebody that's on that board is really cool.
Yeah, good deal. Good running tractor, too. Oh, and he's off to the races. We've got ourselves a full pull
right down here on the big end. No question about it. Living a dream. And Brandon Hunt out of the state of Kentucky. He goes right on out the gate.
Dustin Healer up next, the Dig-In Deer Ride, and the distance for the Scheid Diesel, 3:49 and 11. So we're not that far away from 3:50. 3:49 and 11 leads the cast. Nice job, Kent Crowder. Out of Fredericktown, Ohio, the Dig-In Deep.
And that's yesterday's winner, working for every ounce he can get there on the north track. And we'll wait and see just how far he went, as we will mix the order up just a little bit. Remember, we ran 7 trucks before we started officially with Keith Witt. Going to work your way through a class of about 34 or so on the north track.
All right, we've got our lucky program, a winner here as they have picked out the winner, and it's going to be John Lassens. John Lassens out of Byron, Illinois. If that is you, make your way to the administrative building, and they will have your prize for you. So John Lassens out of Byron, Illinois, you're a winner.
Official distance for Brandon Hunt, 3:63 and 3. Not that it really matters. Green fans, I do have some bad news for you. We are officially going to add another red mark to the scoreboard because we have 2 red ones out the gate and only red are left. But, man, 2 heavy hitters still back there pulling to the sled right now. Out of Marengo, Iowa, 2-time Grand National Champion, Travis Schlabach, the Bone Twister.
A 2-time Grand National Champion back in 2021 and 22. New injection system on this tractor for 2025, the Bone Twister. Needs a full pull to tie. As Darren said, we got 2 out the end right now. 8,000-pound super stock diesel.
Couple of third-place finishes in Hutchinson, Minnesota, and in Chapel Hill, Tennessee this year.
Oh, he's working. I think going to be a little bit short.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door, but from here, I don't think he got there.
On the north side, Justin Gerhardt, Circleville, Ohio. Cream of the crop.
$346.53 for Travis Schlabach, $346.53. That's going to put him in 4th place.
we'll get an update here down at the starting line. Marv, you had told me earlier that this afternoon that the tractors had control of the sled, and tonight you think early on the sled is going to have control of the tractor. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so this afternoon the ground was a little mealy in that hot sun. The big tires was getting a hold of it, and the sled wasn't. It was sliding through it. So tonight, with more water in it, the sun's going down, the sled's getting a hold of it, and the vehicles are not. So it's kind of a iffy game here. We're rolling the dice, trying to get them down there, but yet trying not to get everybody out. And it's not an easy job, I can tell you. Before I forget, I want to make a shout out to my Bunker Hill boys up there.